Good morning, everybody. MG here. MG Covers, bringing you a brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video is a review of our profitable $1,700 week last week. Great week. We're going to review that, give you some very good tips on managing your money and sports handicapping. Before we do that, as always, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Also, if you want to follow me on all the social media outlets, I'm MG Covers, Covers spelled with a Z. You're going to hear some background noises. I'm out of my normal location where I film videos, so I'm kind of in like an open area. So if you hear things, just ignore that. Content will be good as always. First off, so let's dive right into this video. We're going to look at our last week. I'm going to review it real quick, and then we'll go into details. We went 7-3, yielded 1.7 units profit. So had 7 wins, 3 losses, yielded 1.7 units of profit. So the first thing we're going to look at, we had 7 wins total. 6 out of those 7 wins were money line dogs. And I've mentioned this numerous times. One of these sports betting secrets is to incorporate money line dogs into every sport that you handicap. College football, NFL, obviously NHL is a money line sport, so it's baseball, but you want to incorporate money line dogs into every sport. So instead of playing a team, say at +4, it's probably fiscally advantageous to play that team on the money line. All right, so when we review this, let's go ahead and dive into the details. You see there on 11-10, we played Nashville +134, cashed that one, cashed OKC at 160. Next day lost Calgary, but did cash Anaheim +155. Anaheim's very undervalued in NHL this year. A lot of times, if you can recognize that early on, the market undervalues them, which provides you value. Obviously, having power rankings helps because we're able to see that and see that we have a statistical advantage. Next day there, New York OKC, lost in New York, cashed OKC at +170, same deal, very undervalued. Next day, this was Saturday, East Carolina Rutgers. These were basically 50-50 games. I just made a video about this. East Carolina cashes at +170, Rutgers cashes at +220. And then on Sunday, we had a split. We lost our teaser, but did win Anaheim again at -135. So a couple things I want to talk about. Number one, if you notice, that was only 10 plays total for an entire week, but we're still able to yield 1.7 units profit. So a $100 player will be at 170. In my case, we're up $1,700, unit being 1,000. So very low volume. So if you think of all the plays, all the games that transpired for that entire week, we only played 10. I've said this before. The less volume you play in this business, the more advantage you give yourself. Like today, there's a full slate of NHL games. If you made me play all of those NHL games today, made me wager, who has the advantage? The sports books have the advantage. Or I can cherry pick and maybe play 1 or 2, which is the proper way to handicap. So the big takeaway from this is that less volume is better always. Because what I did was I incorporated, look at all the sports we had. I incorporated NFL, NBA, NHL, college football. So I cherry picked from all those sports to pick, quote, the best plays to give me the best advantage, best situation to turn a profit. So low volume, regardless of the sport, even if you're just playing NBA, less volume is always better. Less volume, you have the advantage. More volume, sports books have the advantage. And the reason being is, today in NHL, the sports book's not going to lay bad lines for 60% of the games. They're not. Maybe there's a few games in there where the line is questionable. Maybe it's a 50-50 type game. That's the reason why. So if you play more games, sports books will, quote, trap you, and chances of turning a profit very slim. All right, the second thing I want to talk about is, if you notice in that that third column there where it says 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, and then 0.3, that's the unit size I wagered. This is very important point. So about a year and a half ago, I started this concept of wagering no more than 1 full unit per day. Reason being is it prevents you from having a bad day. What I mean by that, if you have 5 plays, you take 5 divided by your unit size, and you would only wager 0.2 units. And so even if you go over 5 that day, you would only be down 1 full unit. Okay. So again, a good week, but let's hypothetically look at this for a second. So there were days we only wagered, you know, that first day there, we only wagered $400 for me with basically 0.4 units, not even a full unit. So let's say hypothetically we have a disastrous week with the plays that we had. Let's say it goes 0 for 10, all right? So what I did is I added up, if you add up all those 0.2s times 9, that would be 1.8, and that 0.33 play there, if you add 1.8 plus 0.3, that's roughly 2.1. So if we go 0 for 10, there's probably some juice in there, but we're basically down minus 2.1 units, right? Going 0 and 10, we're only down minus 2.1 units. Let's say we risked full units on all those plays and go 0 and 10. We are 10 units in the hole. So you can see that's like an 8 unit difference simply by incorporating that strategy of wagering no more than one full unit. And on the flip side, a lot of people will say, well, based on what they're seeing on this past week, well, if I'd have wagered full units, I would have made a lot more, a ton more. That's true. But again, this is a business, this is an investment. You have to incorporate and factor in risk on both sides, not just the gain side. You have to factor in risk on the loss side. So, and two, you're gonna have those skids like that. So what this does, this style of money management prevents you from having a bad day, a bad week. Very important, and encourage you to incorporate this into your handicapping. So, and then two, 0 and 10 would be very difficult, although it does happen. Let's say if we would go, let's say we went 3 and 7. If we went 3 and 7, more than likely we're probably only going to be down like 0.3 or 0.4 units for the entire week. So that's easy to recover from. And again, just a smarter way to play. I just like this strategy, and I think it's important. So to sort of summarize what we're looking at, you want to do less volume. Less volume is always better. Gives you an advantage over the sports books. And then proper money management. You don't want to wager more than one full unit per day. In a lot of situations, if you have a really good week like we did, playing a lot of money line dogs, you don't even have to risk up to that full unit, which is what I like to do. And again, strong profitable week, 1.7 units, $1,700 a week, huge week, again, just on 10 plays. So I want to review too, before we leave here, having a really solid fall here. Football combined, this is at my monitoring service, Sports Watch Monitor. They rank handicappers based on ROI. We're fourth best handicapper in football combined. That's college football and NFL. NHL starting to make some traction, off to a really good start there. We're seventh best, 29% return. And then NBA, we've cashed some really huge dogs in NBA. We are fifth best handicapper at 42% return, fifth place. So solid start. If you want to become a client, you can get access to all of my plays for $99 per month. That also gives you access to all my power rankings and all my coaching videos. If you want to join for an entire year, that is the best value. Instead of paying $100 each month, it's $4.99 for an entire year. If you think about learning a skill, maybe going to a trade school, and you compare that to what you get with my program, it's very inexpensive. So $500, you get access to everything on the site for an entire year. You will become a better sports handicapper, having access to the power rankings and watching the coaching videos and having access to me answering your questions related to that. If you want access to just my power rankings, that's $49.95 per month, and that gives you access to everything except for the plays. So anyway, hopefully this video helps, and we will talk to you guys soon. Peace.